How's everybody doing today? This is Corey Lee's Boxing, and we are back with another banger. So please smash that like button, you guys, and subscribe. And yeah, man, we're gonna talk this boxing today, man. Wow, Timothy Bradley saying that it's a 50-50 fight, man. He's saying that Errol Spence, and I'm thinking that it can go down in 2022 too, you guys. All of the articles that I read, everybody that I've talked to, ESPN, Fight Hype, I feel like this fight is projected to go down in 2022. From what all signs are pointing to, they want to hurry up and get this fight out the way so that both fighters can move on with their career. And I think it's an awesome fight, man. I think it's a fight that a lot of fight fans have been wanting to see, me included. I've been wanting to see this fight for so long, you guys. You guys know since I pretty much started this channel about 3-4 years ago, I've been wanting to watch this fight, man. This is the fight. This is the fight that everybody wants to see. This is the fight that, you know, is the Manny Pacquiao versus Floyd Mayweather of our era. You know what I mean? And it's a good fight. I think it's a good fight to go down. I think a lot of people, just a lot of people in general can appreciate this fight. You got two guys stylistically that are very, very good. And I just think that, it's good for the sport of boxing, man. You know, Timothy Bradley has said a lot of outlandish things. Some people like him, some people don't like him. I mean, it is what it is. The guy used to be a fighter. He talks about defense and all of this shit, but he goes to war with Parodnikov and almost gets slept. I mean, but the guy's a warrior. I can't take anything from him. He's a warrior in the ring, but outside of the ring, he does say some things. I mean, the 50-50 comment, I can understand that. Some people say that it's a 60-40 fight. It should be a six. That's what I don't understand. A lot of people that I'm hearing are picking Crawford to win. A lot of experts and people that I know, they say it's a very close fight, but they are legitimately picking Terence Crawford to win. They saying, but those same people are saying that it should be a 60-40 split for Errol Spence. So you're picking Terence Crawford to win, but you're thinking Errol Spence should get more money. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. I mean, yeah, Terence Crawford, hasn't done a lot. I mean, I ain't gonna say hasn't done a lot. Hasn't done the same amount of work load that Errol Spence have done at the welterweight division, but he's been in more weight classes, which makes this fight even more intriguing. Terence Crawford has been at 135, been at 140, been at 147. So when you think about all of those things combined, Terence Crawford is a legitimate, threat, to Errol Spence Jr. Terence Crawford almost has 40 fights and ain't nobody been able to beat him yet. Nobody has been able to solve the Terence Crawford Da Vinci Code. Smash that like button as soon as you guys come in too, you guys, please, man. It'll help with the visibility of the show, and it'll help with a lot of people watching YouTube watch my videos that normally don't. But yeah, other than that, man, I really just think that, it's Errol Spence. He's gonna finally step up to the plate and fight Terence Crawford. And I'm telling you, man, a lot of people are gonna be putting their money on Terence Crawford. I can see it now. I can see it happening now. And that's just the way I look at things. That's the way I see things right now. Timothy Bradley has, said that it was going to be a 50-50 fight. But when you really think about it, is it a 50-50 fight? I mean, Terence Crawford can really switch with both hands, you guys. I'm not taking anything away from Errol Spence, but he can really switch with both hands. And that's gonna be a very good tool to use, and to go into your bag of tools when you need to. What bag of tools is Errol Spence gonna go into? And we know he's gonna pressure Terence Crawford. We know he's gonna put that pressure on Terence Crawford. We know he's gonna keep coming forward. And I can't wait to see this fight, bro. The ebb and flows of a fight, man. And I just think it's gonna be a lot of gas on this fight, man. A lot of pressure and a lot of gas. Because I think both of these guys are going to want to get the stoppage, But what if it is a close fight and the first fight is a draw? Then we got to see a second fight, maybe a trilogy. So I just think that both guys combined with their skill level and their determination and their will to win. Um, this is an awesome fight. It's a 5-star. This is a Corey boxing 5-star fight. Out of no doubt, no doubt. This is a Corey boxing 5-star fight. And what I mean by that is, all 5 angles are getting covered. All 5. It's really, when you think about a major blockbuster fight, you think of Lennox Lewis, Mike Tyson. You think of Klitschko versus Tyson Fury over there in the UK. It might not have been as big over here, but it was a big fight over there in the UK. You know, Anthony Joshua versus Klitschko. That was another big fight. Tyson Fury versus Wilder. All 3 of them, big fights. Charles D, what's happening, my brother? Terence Crawford versus Errol Spence Jr. is a 50-50 fight. That's what Timothy Bradley is saying. Do you agree? Or are you leaning way more towards one side than the other? I would love to know what other people think about this fight. I mean, this fight is coming up pretty soon, I think, you guys. I think we'll get it in 2022. I really think this is the year, 2022. I think this is the year that we finally get what we're looking for, you guys. And I've been waiting, man. Me as a boxing fan, I've been waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting. And we'll see. We'll see. But, Terence Crawford right now is saying all of the right things. He's saying he wants to fight. He wants to fight Errol Spence Jr. And Errol Spence Jr. is saying that he wants to fight Terence Crawford. Both guys are, out of their mouth, not on paper, but out of their mouth so far are saying all of the right things, that they want to fight each other. And that's what we need in boxing. We need, 2 guys that really want to fight each other to actually get it done. That's what happened with the Mayweather and Pacquiao fight. They met each other they ran into each other at a basketball game, I believe. It was a Lakers game. And, they started talking after that. It was both of them. It wasn't, from what I'm hearing, it wasn't nobody else. It was, Floyd Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao talking, and it just led to one thing led to another, and then they met up in a room, and then they, been able to, set, set aside their differences and get the fight done, man. Smash that like button as soon as you guys come in. That's what this shit is all about, you guys, getting the fight done. Us as boxing fans want to see this fight, man. I mean, we deserve a blockbuster fight, man. We've been paying for bullshit since COVID. Straight up, man. I'm not going to say all of the fights were bullshit, but a majority of those pay-per-view fights like Charles Martin, Louis Ortiz, I believe, was pay-per-view. Shit like that leaves a sour taste in my mouth. You know what I'm saying? It's like, what the fuck we got to pay for that? Floyd Mayweather versus... I want to pay for this shit. Terence Crawford versus Errol Spence. If I want to spend my hard-earned money and I want to spend my money on a fight, I want to spend my money on this fight. He says, Charles D says, slight edge to Spence. My opinion. Just want the shit to happen. Yeah, man. I think it's going to happen in 2022. I think it's going to happen, Charles D, in the next couple months, man. I really do. I wouldn't be surprised if either fighter has started a little bit of training already for the fight. I mean, if I was Terence Crawford or Errol Spence, I would be definitely starting some type of training. Fuck that myth of overtraining and all that. This is the fight of your fucking life, dude. You need to be in peak form. You have done all of these things. Both guys, I believe, over 30 fights. And both guys have been training their ass off for their whole life for this one fucking moment. Because nobody really knows who's going to win this fight. That's what makes this fight so intriguing. And that's what makes this fight so compelling. Both guys are going in there to win, but who is going to win? That's the question. Charles D thinks Errol Spence is going to win. I'm leaning right now towards Terence Crawford, my boy. Charles D, Terence Crawford got the tools and the skills to pay the bills, dog. Terence Crawford, Terence Crawford has the skills to pay the bills. Yeah. A lot of people need to know that, man. You know? Some of these fighters out here talk a lot of shit, but they don't have the skills to pay the bills. They get stopped in the fourth, fifth round, man. Like that dude Nova did last weekend. He said he was the most athletic fighter and one of the better fighters that he said every fight when he spars people, he's the most athletic fighter and this and that and this and that. He got stopped by a dude that didn't look like he was in physical shape like he was. Another undefeated Spanish guy, Mexican guy, I believe, and iced the shit out of Nova. Laid him flatline that man. That man was on the ground, something terrible. So it ain't about who got the most. That ain't about who in the I guess you could say quote unquote the peak physical shape. It ain't all about that. Yes, you need to be in physical shape, but you need to have the tools. You gotta have the tools. You know, straight up. You got to have the tools. You know, without those, you ain't gonna get shit done. Armando Rage was happening. What y'all doing today, man? How's everybody doing today, man? We got Armando says Spence, man, down. Wow. Rage says this is the fight on? Getting close. Getting real close, Rage. That's what I'm talking about it, man. I just want to see what you guys got to say. I want to see who you guys are picking to win. Smash that like button, man. We need at least 4 to 5 likes, man. Let's get these likes up, man. Armando says, man down season, okay. And big OG, big up OG, okay. Getting drunk, smoking weed. Ray say he getting drunk, smoking weed, okay. Okay, ain't nothing wrong with that, my boy. Be safe out there, though. Definitely be safe out there doing what you do. But yeah, man. I'm telling you guys right now, I'm leaning towards Terence Crawford. If I had to pick a fighter, if I had to pick, somebody that I think was gonna win this fight, I'm gonna lean more towards Terence Crawford, and here's why. I think Terence Crawford, can switch stance, and I think that's gonna definitely, throw Errol Spence to a loop. You can have all the sparring you want. You can have all the motherfucking sparring you want, but at the end of the day, like I said before, and I'll say it again, skills pay the bills. And I think Terence Crawford's got a lot of skills. And I think he can go in that bag when he needs to. You know what I'm saying? See, a lot of fighters out here, you guys, they can't go in their bag when they need to. You know? They can't go in their bag when they need to, man. You know? Terence Crawford can. Terence Crawford can go in that bag whenever he needs to, man. Armando in the chat says, "Oh, that even Sanchez dude who got iced by that 12-5 guy who had 12 KOs. He says he wanted to stand and bang, didn't end well. That's what I'm saying. And you guys know when Errol Spence gets rocked, he loves to get it back. He does not like to get rocked and it just be like that and just stay like that. No, sir. When Errol Spence get rocked, he's got to get it right back. He's got to get it right back. So that's why I think that this fight's so dangerous for Terence Crawford and for Errol Spence. Both of these guys like to bang, but they can box too. They can box too. But I feel like, after all, when it's all said and done, like I said, man, all of that rah-rah shit means nothing if you can't box. I think right now, man, we got to give a lot of props to Terence Crawford, man, because I think he's a masterclass boxer. And but it just the fight is so intriguing because is he gonna bang? Is he gonna bang with Errol Spence? Is this gonna turn into a firefight, man? And the more I break down this fight, the more I think it can be. Because you guys got to understand, none of these guys want to leave, with the draw. None of these guys want to be like, oh, well, I thought Earl Spence won, but Terence Crawford really won. Both of these guys want to get the job done, you know? Both of these guys want to ice each other, I feel like, man. Both of these guys, they do, man. They really do. Shout out to Armando in the chat. He says also Vargas got iced again, man. Wow. I remember he was supposed to be something special when he was sparring at the TMT gym and he had beef with Floyd, but man, Zepeda ended his career. Yeah, I seen that. But Zepeda's a good fighter. Has came up and they've been throwing Zepeda through to the wolves. They've been throwing Zepeda to the wolves. A lot of these guys is put up a shut up time, man. These promoters are done paying these guys these top bills, and these promoters are done paying these guys all that top money, and they're not performing, man. They're not performing at all. You got guys like it's just so many younger guys that are coming up that are like and I hate to make him as an example, but we want to see him fight somebody. Let's be honest. And I'm talking about David Benavidez, man. David Benavidez, I want to see him fight somebody. He's getting paid pretty good. And I just think, when are we going to see him fight a guy that we might think he can lose to? I haven't seen that yet. I haven't seen one guy that I picked against David Benavidez to lose. None of the guys that he fought, I thought he was going to lose to. Now, I did think that the David Lemieux fight would be a little bit closer, but it wasn't. Smash that like button, you guys. Let's get these likes up. Let's definitely get these likes up, man. Charles D says both like to try and get it back. Yeah, Earl, when you're talking about Errol Spence and Terence Crawford, when you touch one of them up, and when you start landing your combinations and shit like that, neither fighter is gonna wanna is concede to the other. So I think that makes for a fun and very entertaining fight. And yeah, man, I can't wait to see what these guys got in store, man. I think it's gonna be a fun, entertaining night. I really want to go to that fight. If I've never read what I said it. He says, read what I said. I said it now, Crawford. Okay. Oh, you saying Crawford. Okay, Rage. So you picking Crawford, huh? Okay. He says, sorry. I still got Crawford in this. Sorry. Okay. So Rage is picking Crawford. Why are you picking Crawford, though? That's the question. Why are you picking Crawford? Shout out to Armando in the chat. He says, I feel this fight can be similar to Jose Adorno versus Jameen Ortiz, excuse me. That fight was a fucking war. That ended in a draw. Ortiz in being Spence with the work rate, and Adorno and Crawford with the precision. Yeah, but both of these guys, man, Armando, these guys are different. Both of these guys are different. Both of these guys, know how to get the job done and know when each other's hurt, they're gonna try to finish the job. You know, we've seen Earl Spence. We've seen Earl Spence get rocked. We've seen Earl Spence get hurt. We've seen Terence Crawford get rocked. We've seen Terence Crawford get hurt. Um, but it's all about, what do you do after that? Can you still be defensively responsible after you get hurt? Can you still be that guy? Can you still be a good fighter after you get hurt? And my question about that is, we'll see. We shall see. We shall see. Both fighters are very good though, man. I'm letting you guys know that now. Both fighters are very, very good. I think Terence Crawford, being that, he's out there with Bomac, I think Bomac's gonna get him right. I think Bomac's a hell of a trainer. And I think Bomac will, get Terence Crawford in peak performance for this fight, man. And as far as Earl Spence and his trainer, Derek James could possibly be one of the best trainers in the entire world of boxing. He's got two. If Earl Spence wins, he'll have two undisputed champions. That's unheard of. That's unheard of, bro. Two undisputed world champion fighters. That means he'll have two fighters with all four of the major sanctioning bodies belts in their respectful weight classes. And mind you, each weight class is one weight class away from each other. Earl Spence is at 147. Charlo is at 154. They're only one weight class apart. So I just think that, being that I've seen both fighters and I love the way both fighters, react and, fight each other. And, you got to understand both fighters really smash the gas when it's time to ice you and it's time to end you. Both fighters know when it's time. Um, Same with Tank. Yeah, Tank got to fight somebody, man. Time is up, man. I'm done with the rollies. I'm done with the Gamboas. I'm done with the Leo Santa Cruz, which is Leo Santa Cruz is a good fight. I'm not taking anything away from smash that like button as soon as you guys come in, you guys. I'm not taking anything away from uh from Tank Davis, but like Charles D said, Tank gotta fight somebody. Tank's gotta fight somebody, man. Armando in the chat says none of them are fighting anybody though, Corey. Charlo, Andre, and David all fighting chumps, waiting for the Canelo payday. But Andre got Janabek problems now. Ooh, Janabek interim champion, mandatory. Wow. They say that dude Janabek is pretty good. I watched his last fight on Showbox. And the guy iced the shit out of that dude. And Andre definitely got his hands full with him. I would love to see him. But the only thing is, if Andre were to fight Janabek, what does he get from that fight? He doesn't get a whole lot of money because Janabek is not bringing a crowd. And that's respectfully. The guy's from another country. And he already said, Janabek already said that he's not going to fight Triple G. So that narrows it down to only a couple guys. I guess him and Triple G are countrymen, and from their country, I guess it's a known thing that they don't fight each other or something. I don't know. Should Americans fight Americans every day? Hey, y'all, Americans fight Americans every day. You know? Rage in the chat says the skills and the experience. Okay. Let's see what else we got here, you guys. I'm reading you guys' chats. Appreciate you guys for commenting. Ray says fair play. That can both. He says fair play. That can both bang. They can both. I think you meant to say they can both bang, but box. But Crawford, I just see something in him. Might be me, but that's yeah, yeah. I see something special in Crawford too. And I'm not saying Errol Spence is not special, but I don't know how good Errol Spence can be after that car accident. That car accident was dangerous as fuck, and I don't know like which guy we're gonna see after that car accident. Smash that like button. Let's get these likes up. Share this too, you guys. If you guys can, share this on all social media, man. I appreciate that a lot. Okay. Armando in the chat says, you never seen that, Corey? Ortiz versus Ordano? No, I never seen that. I never seen that. They have it on YouTube, but only the first 6 rounds of 8. Ordano was 14-0 with 1 loss, 12 wins by way of knockout, and Ortiz was 14-0 with 8 knockouts. Ortiz just beat the shit out of Herring. Oh, was that the dude that beat Herring? Oh, okay. I did see that fight now. You know what that fight reminds me of, the way you're explaining it? The Dadashev fight where he fought on Teofimo Lopez's undercard, which was respectfully his last fight. He wound up passing in that fight, but it was two guys that was 13-0. One guy was 13-0 with all 13 wins by way of knockout. Dadashev was 13-0 with 11 knockouts. Okay, two bulls, no matador. Two bulls were going heads up, and neither one wanted to wilt. And it just finally took the coach, Buddy McGirt, which I interviewed after the fight, respectfully, and he threw in the towel. He said, "Man, I'm not letting you go back out there. You're getting beat. You're getting touched up a little too much." And he was, but he was doing the touching as well in some of the early rounds. So as a trainer, it's hard to throw in the towel on a fighter that his reputation and his livelihood is on the line. And he left the family behind. But I was at that fight. It was a real brutal fight, man. I could hear the punches from press row. That was one of my first credentialed fights, and both guys, excuse me, were undefeated. Neither one suffered defeat. And you guys know the guy that's still been winning and beating and knocking out everybody. The guy Matisse. The guy Matisse. Not Matisse, but Matisse, I think his name is. Matias. He fought Dedashev. And when I tell you that was a brutal fight to watch live, I was at the MGM Grand and I was watching it live. This was on the Teofimo Lopez undercard. And boy, that was one of the most brutal fights I've ever seen in my life, man. And after that, man, Dedashev was never the same. He wound up passing in the hospital later. But that sounds kind of like the fight that you just were mentioning in the 8 rounder. I think this was a 10 rounder. No, this was actually I might have been a 12 rounder actually. And that's what made it so brutal because after like the 8th or 9th round, it was like still 3-4 rounds to go. Buddy McGirt was just like, hell no, I'm not going any further with this fight, man. I'm not going any further with this fight. You know, I was like, I'm not going any further with this fight. Mike Biggs boxing, what's happening? Tim B, what it do? Can you smash that like button as soon as you guys come in here, man? Can you guys please smash that like button, man? Hold up. Wait a minute. Let me switch headphones. You know the show don't stop. You know the. Can you guys hear me? Hopefully you guys can hear me. Testing, 1, 2. Let me know in the thumbs up. Let me get some thumbs up in the chat if you guys can hear me. Uh, let's go to the chat right now. Let's go to the chat, man. So what do you guys think about the Terence Crawford fight coming up, man? What do you guys think? I think this fight could possibly be, if not a trilogy, definitely 2 to 3 fights, man. For sure. Definitely. Let me see. Yeah, Tank needs to be tested for real. Yeah, I would love to see that, man. I would love to see Tank tested, man. Tim B in the chat says, "Yo, Corey, been a minute. What he says? What do you think about Bud asking for a rematch? Hey, hey, cause he knows how that shit can go. He's going to PBC. He's not a PBC fighter. Okay, he's going to Earl Spence's. You know, he's going to Earl Spence's backyard. In so many words, he might just do a one fight. And I know, and see, that's the thing. I know PBC is not going to let Terence Crawford just do a one fight deal. I know they're going to want to lock him into 2 to 3 fights. Because if he does beat Earl Spence, can you beat Jerron Ennis too? Or they might get this dude a murderous row before he leaves PBC. You got to fight all of these guys before you leave us. We got to somebody got to beat you. That's what some of these promotional companies be thinking. Look at Devin Haney. Devin Haney's locked in with ESPN for like 2 or 3 more fights. Charles D was happening in the chat. He says, if we were gonna see anything from that accident, we would have seen it already. That's not necessarily true. Look who he's fought since the accident. He's fought Danny Garcia, you guys. 2 guys that really don't move well. You guys has okay footwork. Danny doesn't have the best footwork. Terence Crawford has extremely good footwork. All different type of fighters. Terence Crawford's a way different fighter than Danny Garcia and you guys. Excuse me. You can't even compare. Dedashev Matisse says, yup. Hitting him with bombs. Yeah, I was at that fight, bro. That fight, rest in peace. That was a brutal fight, Charles D. Smash that like button. Can we please get these likes up? Armando Colon in the chat says, I got Spence, man. Crawford always starts off unorthodox, but then gets touched up and switches southpaw and stays southpaw. Crawford is a southpaw bottom line. I don't know if he can beat that natural southpaw EJ. Wow, I like that breakdown. Good breakdown. Armando says, yeah, that fight was a war. May he rest in paradise. Yes, sir. Charles D says Dedishev was winning the early rounds of that fight too. Yeah, he was, Charles D. Good take on that, man. Let's see what we got here. Um, Armando says, yeah, Ordano versus Ortiz was a war, both undefeated. Ordano dropped Ortiz twice, but Ortiz was working him. His work rate was insane. I thought Ordano won, but the draw was cool though. Yeah, I gotta look at that fight. I gotta try to find that fight online sometime. You good? Charles D says you good. Tim B, you good? Okay, the lower. Charles D says the lower is gonna run it back. Okay. You mean the loser? The loser's gonna run it back. They gonna want to run it back. Yeah, they will. Yeah, they are. You're right. And I think that's what Terence Crawford is want to do, just in case he get beats on the scorecards or he gets cheated or something. He wants a chance to redeem himself and maybe go for the KO in the next fight. I don't know what he's thinking, but I know he's probably thinking like, shit, I ain't trying to just give my belt up that easy. If it becomes a tight fight and it's like a pick'em fight, this gonna go to Errol Spence. I think he's the A side. Armando says, and that's another thing. What is up with these fucking judges, man? Because then we might need them. Armando says O'Donnell just lost to Mike Ali Rivera, though, in a close fight. But O'Donnell bounced back with a first round KO. O'Donnell, Ortiz, and Rivera are all studies. Okay, at 135. 135 is packed. Smash that like button, y'all. Let's get these likes up. Rage in the chat says, I see 3-fight deal. Oh, for the Terence Crawford? Yeah, I think he might sign for a 3-fight deal as well. Listen, you guys, I got to go. Corey Lee has to go to work. Smash that like button, you guys. Please smash that like button. And I got to go to work, you guys. I got to go, man. Thank you guys so much for watching. Armando says crazy that Ennis has more fights than Spence and almost has more knockouts than Spence has fights. Laugh out loud. Yeah, from now on, you guys, I think I'm gonna try to go. I know I've been saying it. I've been trying to find a good live stream, like good times. I think this is gonna be my time, y'all. 6:30 every day here at Corley Boxing, Monday through Thursday. Sunday through Thursday, I think. That's what I'm gonna start doing. 6:30 to 7. I'm thinking I'm gonna start doing live streams. All right. 6:30 to 7, man. So definitely thank you, man. Love for your time. Smash that like button. Thank you, man. Thank you so much, you guys. If you guys want to donate, you can donate to Corley Boxing on Cash App at Corley Boxing or PayPal, Corley Boxing. Thank you guys so much for watching. This is Corley Boxing, and we definitely been back with another banger. Yeah, boy.